Hello everyone, welcome back for another episode of Graz Goes Indie. Today we're going to take a look at Car Mechanic Simulator. Now this isn't my first impression. If you want to see my first initial reaction to it, check out the live stream I posted last week, or the other day rather, excuse me. It's my first time really getting a feel for the game itself, but I have a link in the video description or a card somewhere in the video. Today we're looking at Car Mechanic Simulator because they had recently issued the Bentley remastered DLC. Now, with this type of game, you have a lot of different DLCs for different things, like they have a different type of DLC for cars, and the Bentley is really interesting. All right, before we get into it too deep, let's go ahead and take a look at these options real quick. I almost overshot this one. So, of course, we have Continue a New Game. We have Profiles. If you want to go ahead and create your own profile, take it for what it's worth. DLCs installed. So, as right now, we only have the Bentley DLC in. We actually have several other DLCs consisting of Mazda, Dodge, Jeep, Plymouth, Bentley, of course, which we're talking about, and the tuning DLC. So we have Car Showroom, which gives us an idea. We can go ahead and take a look at cars, do all the flipping around and such, which is kind of cool. So, of course, here's our DLC. So this is what you get, and we can actually do the orbit whole thing right here. Can't really look into the cars, but as you can see, it looks very cool to say the least. They even have the little tag. I have to say, tags in this game are actually very personable. They do have a wide variety, ranging with like all 50 states in the America, plus several other countries. So pretty cool they actually had that little touch of customization in there, really. So of course, there's our Explorer. We actually see inside, which is really neat. Again, inside really isn't too detailed. It is what it is. You can change color. You can make it whatever color you want. So if we want to make it red, we can make it red. If we want to make it whatever, do a pearl sense or pearl. Do that. Show rust. What does it look like when it goes to rust? Not all hot now, is it? Sit inside, which gives you the driver's side view. Very cool. And there's explode. We can explode everything up like that. I was hoping for a big loud explosion. But that gives you a general idea of what it's like. And we can go back and see what other cars there are too as well. So, return to menu. And settings, of course, as always. Video settings, audio settings, basic, what you can expect. And actually, up the graphics quality, which I've done here. Anything aliasing, bloom, motion blur, things like that. Pretty straightforward and basic. Can't expect much more. Control rebind if you want to go ahead and rebind your controls, but there's not a whole lot, so take it for what it's worth. Again, you can actually do like crouching. You can always do the tablet. When you get a tablet in game, it makes getting things easier, having things like that. And of course, you got a couple driving things, a couple keys. It ain't too big, but it's all good. Well, I don't have a Bentley car for this now, but I've already built up my mechanic in my work area up pretty nicely, so I'll go ahead and discuss what's going on here with that and basically what's going on. But you start off in the tutorial with a big room rather, and you get a feel for how the game's played. Then eventually, when you're ready to play the game, it starts you off and you build up. So I'm in the process of currently building up right now. I'm at level 26, so did pretty good so far, but as you can see, I've already got some cars to work on in here. Again, it's detailed, but you don't get the full experience. You don't get the full bird's nest of wires and such, but still pretty cool to say the least. And you can start taking things apart and just, noodle with engines and such. Actually, there we go. So let's go ahead and see what we can take apart here and take a look at. And depending on what the issue is, you can go ahead and replace some things. You work on things you don't need to, but of course you're wasting money. Generally, it's always a good idea to go by the guidelines. You'll have your car status here. It tells you what you got to do. Now, of course, as you play the game, it gets a little bit more technical. So you'll have to go ahead and explore some things. Go in and use the examine mode where you just go ahead and click, or you hold click and you get an idea. Some things you won't be able to examine without taking off the car, but as you play, you'll get more comfortable with it, and you'll definitely be able to see what needs work and what doesn't. Like visual aids, like for instance, this exhaust pipe right here down below. You can see that's all rusty and brown. That's probably going to have to get replaced. Now, maybe this rest of the engine's rusty, but not too bad. so maybe it does need to be replaced. Again, you'll get a feel for it, but the Bentley DLC, which is something pretty cool. Again, it adds 2 new engine types, the V12 and V8. Well, the engine types added are the W12 and the V8 Bentley T-Series, so it does add a little bit more along with the cars themselves. So I don't have any Bentleys here, but I may get lucky. Let's go ahead and check out the car auctions, because you never know what pops up on there. Now, at certain levels as you progress, in the beginning at level 1, it's pretty basic. You don't go to the car auction because you don't really need it. But here's the car auction, and as you can see, we have various different things. We can actually, too bad we can't get a closer look at the auction, but it'd be kind of cool to actually see. So let's go ahead and check out the next car. Might have been worth looking into, but there's a variety of newer and older cars in this. Now, generally a whole lot of them they're very generic. You're not going to have like Ford and such, but you'll have some, again, like Mazda, Jeep, Plymouth, Dodge, DLC packs basically, which get added in, which is really cool to see. I like to see them do a Ford Focus DLC, but I digress. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take part in one of these auctions. I'm not interested in you. Old cars are kind of fun to work on this game, but I kind of like the newer designs too. And some of these are extremely pricey. So yeah, we're not going to go ahead and worry about you. But at least the cars in the auction are like pretty much up and running. You can actually get cars from the dump, or you can get cars from farmhouses. But again, they're going to require a ton of work. So you have to think, is it going to be worth all the time to put in to rebuild the car, or is it just better to come to the auction and get this? Now, this is, whoa, that's like super expensive. I wish they would really let you look into here, but again, not going to get into that truck. And there are some other things to do in this game as well. That's not too bad. And there is an end to these things too, so you eventually get to the point where there's no more for auction. Let's go ahead and auction for this one. Pretty basic auction system, as you can see. You got a timer right here. You got people up there. I'll throw my bid in. Not that it'll matter. There we go. Everyone's ready to bid. Boy, everyone ready to bid. There we go. Oh, man. Everyone's doing the eBay thing. They're waiting till the end to throw their bid in. They're not letting me do it. They're not letting me do it. Oh, my God. And come on. Boom. For the time being, let's go ahead and place it on the parking, because I have no place in here, but hey, it would have been really nice to go ahead and get a Mazda. Anyway, you know what? Let's go back. Actually, continue, and then we'll quit from here. There's other places we can go ahead and check out, and I'll do that here in a second. Like I said, the farmhouse, you can go there, get parts, or you can actually get cars to fix up. They're a little bit cheaper, but at the same time, again, it's a lot of time, and in the long run, it will be an investment to get things fixed. So, let's take a look at the map real quick back in the garage. There's an abandoned airport where you can actually drive around, kind of do like, not so much racing, but you can pretty much take a vehicle there and just go through the course. And the driving isn't bad, really, for the type of game this is. Normally with a simulator, I feel like they wouldn't do too much with the driving, but I have to say that they've done a really great job with it. And of course, we've been to the car auctions. Racetrack, you get the same, is you get to go on the racetrack and do laps, basically, and you're timing the laps, trying to get the best time in. So again, it's kind of like the airport, but you're actually timing your runs. Off-road track, if you want like off-roading, great way to go ahead and do that there, and that's available, but I have no off-roaders, so yeah, it gets crazy. Test track, you take your car there to get everything pretty much checked, like the acceleration, the suspension, brakes, things like that. Car salon, this is where you pick up new cars, and I think that's where we'll go next. Again, you go there and you actually buy your own personal car, but they are expensive. We'll go there and see what we can do. As a matter of fact, let's go to parking first. Actually, I got a better idea. We'll go to parking next, but I do want to get a car out of there and sell it, and I'll show you how that's done. In the meantime, let's go ahead and move this car, and you've got several rooms normally you can move these cars in. Oh, wow, we can't move a car. That's sad. Didn't want to do that. Anyway, do we have a vehicle in here? Because sometimes you could store a vehicle in your little testing area. Yes, we do have a vehicle in the testing area, so I guess I can't do that. Okay, either way, let's go ahead and check out the car salon, which really is a dealership. They call it a car salon, but it's a dealership. And you go in here and you buy whatever you want personally when you get enough money. But the thing is, this is like the most expensive option, so you're not going to be able to get one for like auction prices. These are like all brand new, and they are all super, super expensive. So take a look what we got here. FMW, again, it's a knockoff of BMW, FMW Roadster, and it is almost 200,000. So yeah, that is pricey, just pricey. But again, it's brand new, so it is what it is. A lot of these are wind up being knockoffs, like the Rhino, Piccolo, Ecto. It's an interesting name. Is there anything else around here? Can we actually... I never really explored this too much, but yeah, it's... I was going to say, it doesn't have too much going on for it. I don't know if there's upstairs to it or not, but we'll go upstairs in a second. But I think this is what? More of the same, yeah. This is the Rhino Piccolo. Rhino Piccolo. Say that several times fast. And... Castor Avalanche. Okay, so, again, we do have the cars in here, and they occasionally come up, whether it's for sale or repair, and usually they are very pricey. So with Bentley, you have to be careful. Yep, okay, these are just office spaces, so it is what it is on that. I feel like this would be a good time to actually explain how junkyards, farms, and things like that work. I'm actually at the junkyard right now, so you can get parts from these piles, or sometimes even smash cars. So let's go ahead and take a search real quick, and you can see a lot of these parts, condition looks rough. If they're under 15%, generally they're not much you could do with them. But if the condition is over 15%, then there are certain parts that you can actually fix. So once you get your skill high enough, you can actually go ahead and fix a lot of parts and reuse them, and you can get them really cheap at places like the junkyard and farms. Now here's what car I was talking about earlier, where you can actually go ahead and repair it. As you can see, this thing is pretty much shot. It's very rough. But the higher skill you get, you can actually fix this and restore it to brand new. So right now, it's actually purchasable, and it's 8,800. So again, in this game, it's actually relatively cheap, but you're going to be doing a lot of work. Now, they give you no idea what the condition's in, but you can already guess that the condition isn't good. So as you can see here, everything's rust and eaten up, so you're probably going to be replacing a lot of this. But in the end, it's a project, but it is pretty cool to say the least. I've actually done one car so far, and I'll probably stop over to the parking lot and show you that once we get done here. Actually, I was hoping to get a Bentley, but it has not popped up. They occasionally pop up. I do see a lot of Bentley parts in here. I'll see some W12s or some whatevers. As you can see, here we go. There's a Bentley Continental GT front window. We got some steering wheels, but that could be for anything. There's the rear mirror for the Bentley. So they are quite prevalent, to say the least. And at some point, I'll probably personally pick up the other DLCs because I'm very interested in what they have for the Mazda, the Dodge, Jeep, and such. It seems like it's really cool. But this is just a little overview. Yeah, we're not going to buy any items. It's just a little overview of what you can expect from some places. And again, there are other things you could do. So it's worth checking out. I got to say, this game is actually very fun. I've spent a good amount of hours on this so far. I'd probably say at least 12 to 14 hours. So it can become addicting if you like the simulator games. And again, I feel like this is a good overall experience. It's not going to give you like the true mechanic experience, because there are some things they cut down on, but at the same time, it's definitely something you could pick up on. So, parking spot. Actually, I have 3 cars there. Actually, the one I actually got at auction too. I forgot about that. So, yes. Actually, the first vehicle was a truck that I purchased after saving a bunch of money. Getting money in this game after a while is actually relatively easy. Once you start working on some vehicles and you restore a couple of old vehicles, you start selling them off and making a lot of money. But it just takes a little bit of time getting started up. So, first vehicle I bought was the truck. Very cool. This one is the second one. This is my restore here, my second vehicle. This is called the Bolt Atlanta F-Mill, and I restored everything, pretty much, almost everything, to 100%. It's actually worth $46,000. But the one thing I have not been able to do yet, because my level isn't high enough, is actually repair the body. So there's a lot of rust around the edges and such. Unfortunately, not high enough levels, so to get the welder, you have to be at level 30. I'm 4 levels away from that. I would like to do that. But not just yet, but it's something you can do in the future. So, and of course, here's the car we just got from auction. So, what did we get? We got a rust bucket. Okay, it looks like a rust bucket, but who knows? Car status. Yeah, it's a rust bucket. Okay, so maybe not total value. Actually, we paid around that price. Was that what we paid for it? I can't even remember now. But either way, I digress. Yeah, there's still a lot of things. Actually, yeah, there's a lot of things we don't know about this car just yet. So, anyway, can I actually move us to the garage? Let's move up to the garage and then call it a day here. Okay, well, this has been Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 by Playway. So if you want to go ahead and check out more footage, like I said, there was a live stream. I did about an hour's worth of game. Go ahead and check that out. Also, there's a link in the video description where you can check it out on Steam. Again, fun little game. Not bad at all. This is actually very playthrough material. I thought about it, but, you know, maybe there's enough demand I would probably do a playthrough. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video informative. If so, please be sure to rate it or let me know what you think down below in the comments section. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I will see you again next time. The video's over, but there's more where that came from. Be sure to subscribe for more Terraria Let's Plays, Top 5s, and other videos as well as we cover different titles. You can click on one of the videos here for more. Be sure to rate this video accordingly as it helps the channel out greatly. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I will see you again next time.